Imagine that you're part of the initial invasion into a country at the beginning of a war. You are in a four-vehicle convoy driving towards your objective, and you are in non-traditional military vehicles, because you are part of a special forces team whose mission it is to train indigenous forces to repel terrorism in their country. It is nighttime, which can add a fog of war to any military operation. All of a sudden, there are explosions all around you. 3 of your 4 vehicles are destroyed immediately, and you're waiting for help. A friendly AC-130 gunship has misidentified you as enemy forces and is trying to kill your entire team. This is one of the many issues that arose at the beginning of the invasion into Afghanistan. My name is James Craddock, and I am a Joint Terminal Attack Controller in the United States Air Force. Today I will define the roles that SOF and Joint Conventional Forces played in the initial invasion and occupation of Afghanistan, and will play in the upcoming withdrawal. I will now begin with the initial invasion into Afghanistan and the roles that SOF and Joint Conventional Forces played. Operation Anaconda was one of the best examples at the beginning of the war how these two forces tried to work together. Special Operations Forces teams were tasked to train indigenous forces to help repel insurgency, while conventional forces were tasked with providing main force and QRF just in case anything happened to the SOF teams and they were overwhelmed. Air Force personnel and jets were tasked with armed overwatch and provide CAS for both Special Forces and conventional forces. Operation Anaconda was a failure from the get-go because of the failure of training and communication with all U.S. military branches. This led to high rates of fratricide and a failure to complete all mission objectives. Progressing into the occupation, Joint Conventional Forces started working out the kinks, and SOF began changing their traditional missions. SOF teams began going after time-sensitive targets like high-value individuals and high-value targets. They started to shy away from training of indigenous forces. Conventional forces started multiplying their numbers and continued providing a main force for the Operation Afghanistan. They also provided security, multiplying the number of bases that they had all over Afghanistan. As we move closer to the date set by President Obama for U.S. forces to start the withdrawal from Afghanistan, I will now talk about the roles each will play. SOF teams have continued providing HVT hits, HVI hits, and time-sensitive targets, while Joint Conventional Forces started taking over the mission of training Afghan National Army and Afghan National Police. This will help the Afghanis protect themselves from insurgency when the U.S. forces leave Afghanistan. Also, main force Joint Conventional Forces have started to draw down their numbers and have started to close down bases that they set up at the beginning. Now that you have a better understanding of how SOF and Joint Conventional Forces will help with the withdrawal of Afghanistan, I'll summarize what I went over. Today I defined the roles of Special Operations Forces and Joint Conventional Forces and what they played in the invasion and occupation and will play in the withdrawal of Afghanistan in the coming years. Now that you know a little more about what men and women of the armed forces do overseas to help keep the homeland of America safe. Thanks for listening.